Thank you for joining. Today we'll be discussing Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro for infrastructure. My name is Jacquelyn Brown, and I'm going to first start off talking a little bit about Microdesk and just an introduction to us and what we do. If I can, here we go. So Microdesk was founded in 1994 as an Autodesk reseller with a simple mission, and that was to assist architecture, engineering, construction owners, and GIS firms with improving workflows and integrating project delivery technologies. And about 28 years later, that mission still holds true. Microdesk is a well-established AECO consulting firm with 13 offices in the US and the UK. We have over 230 consultants and solution specialists and software developers that can help in all sectors and disciplines and all stages. Some of the hottest topics in our industry are globalization, urbanization, and sustainability. So urbanization studies suggest that the US will build approximately 114 cities the size of Boston in the next 30 years. Here at Microdesk, we can help to make sure you're prepared to meet these demands. We use software from industry leaders and combine it with our vision and passion for sustainability to meet the demands of urbanization. Our team of industry expert consultants are redefining project delivery and asset management. We partner with world leaders such as Autodesk, of course, and IBM to utilize innovative technologies and methodologies to empower sustainable design and overcome local challenges. Our vision is to reduce the environmental impact of urbanization by helping our industry to design, construct, and operate better projects more efficiently by leveraging the full potential of BIM, VDC, and asset management. We are committed to helping clients realize the business benefits of BIM quickly and economically by facilitating the use of innovative technologies and processes. Whether it's streamlining your design, construction, or operations, our consulting team is the nation's largest and most experienced group of AECO technology consulting professionals. To help support the industry with these demands of urbanization, we provide full service consulting. This includes BIM information modeling services, enterprise strategy and workflow assessments, technology management, mentoring and support, application development, and much, much more. So here's just a little bit about me. Jacquelyn Brown, you can call me Jackie. I'm a strategic implementation manager at Microdesk. I'm a registered professional engineer in New Jersey and Arizona. I've been with Microdesk for over 9 years now, and in the civil engineering industry for over 18. I have expertise in applications such as Civil 3D, Infoworks, vehicle tracking, Navisworks, storm and sanitary analysis, of course, BIM Collaborate Pro, and more. Okay, jumping to what we're going to be focusing on today. Here is our agenda. We're going to be highlighting BIM Collaborate Pro mostly, and how it addresses collaboration challenges. So we'll start with a little overview. We'll talk about project creation and setup, cloud-based workflows, and project team coordination and collaboration. So where we are now with Autodesk and the platforms, there's basically two platforms. The first one and the, I guess, older one you could say is the BIM 360 platform. And then we also have the newer one, which is the Unified platform. So this is a little bit of a comparison of the two and basically the terminology between the two. So with the BIM 360 platform, we had BIM 360 Docs. And with the Unified platform, we have Autodesk Docs. With the BIM 360 platform, we had BIM Coordinate, and now we have Autodesk BIM Collaborate. And we had BIM 360 Design and Collaborate Pro, and now we have Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro. Autodesk Build was pretty much the same, Build and Autodesk Build, and then in addition, we also have Autodesk Takeoff. So I'm going to mostly be in the Unified platform, but when we jump into the demo, I will show you kind of the difference between the two visually, so you can see the difference. this is a little bit of a description of what the unified platform can offer. So there's basically 3 categories here. The first one is BIM Collaborate Pro, Build, and Takeoff. So with BIM Collaborate Pro, we can do coordination and design collaboration. With Build, we can do project management, cost management, quality, safety, project closeout. And with Takeoff, we can do quantification. I will say that Build and Takeoff are not a part of this demonstration, but we definitely have some content available for you if you want to learn more about those. If you can see along the bottom there, Autodesk Docs is basically an umbrella for all of them. So with that, we can do document control, versioning, approvals, and issue management. And we also have insights and admin where we can view dashboards and reports. We have data connectors, permissions, templates, notifications, things like that. So focusing in on BIM Collaborate Pro for Civil. This enables infrastructure design professionals and extended project team stakeholders, whether they're within one firm or across multiple firms or multiple disciplines. They can collaborate securely and store data on Autodesk Construction Cloud Platform for AEC projects. These products include key features for Civil 3D users, and those key features are mostly Autodesk Docs, which is the foundation of the Autodesk Construction Cloud Platform. We also have the design collaboration module, which gives you a high degree of control over how and with whom your project data is shared, as well as the unique ability to see all changes from version to version. We also have the model coordination module, which gives you automated 3D clash detection capabilities and integrated coordination issue management tools. So BIM Collaborate Pro adds a powerful cloud collaboration for Civil 3D technology that enables real-time work sharing virtually anywhere that you can have an internet connection. Some of the collaboration challenges that we have in our industry are security and accountability, team communication, project complexity, and inefficient tools. So I'm going to jump into a little bit of some of the ways that BIM Collaborate Pro can assist with these challenges. If your concern is security, well, BIM Collaborate Pro can give you a great deal of flexibility to control who has access to design data. So with it, you can restrict user access to certain folders, or you can limit access according to a user's role or their company. You can control work sharing and design deliverable exchange with the assurance that the right information is in the right hands throughout the project. If your concern is efficient team communication, you can use BIM Collaborate Pro to ensure that your project team is always aware of the project's overall progress. You can ensure that everyone meets their milestones and deadlines, and you can reduce the time it takes to effectively review design revisions. If your concern is accountability and ensuring that everyone involved on the project is completing their tasks in a timely manner, you can use BIM Collaborate Pro's issue tracking and management tools, and with that you can put context around issue resolution with the ability to pin an issue to any 2D or 3D design location, collaborate with common threads, you can add photos, you can assign work, and you can track those resolutions. And then lastly, if your concern is alleviating complex projects by enabling members to better collaborate on designs, you can use BIM Collaborate Pro to enable anytime, anywhere access to Civil 3D, and I've said Civil 3D a lot, but it's Infoworks as well. With this ability, you can extend file collaboration to project teams in any location while centralizing efforts of distributed teams. So you can also better allocate resources and assign the best team members with the most relevant skill sets to each project. Okay, so I'm going to jump into more of a live demonstration of BIM Collaborate Pro so we can see how some of these challenges can be addressed. Okay, so here I am. This is the Autodesk Docs page on Autodesk Construction Cloud. So right now you can see a folder structure. I'm in a project right now. You can see the account that I'm in, and this little symbol right here is that's the symbol for the unified platform. So whenever you see that, you're in the unified platform. Now, just to show you the difference between BIM 360 docs it's pretty similar. You can see that we have our account up here. We can hit the down arrow to go to different projects within the account. We can switch accounts. And we have our document management here. So there are some similar features. The buttons are in a little bit different places, but you can do a few more things with the unified platform. So I'm going to be working in the unified platform, and I'll just start off by how we create a project. So I'm going to jump over to basically creating a new project. Now we can use project templates to basically build our project off of. The project template is a set of saved folder structure, so that you can use that folder structure and you don't have to recreate those folders every time you create a new project. So I can create a project template to do that. You can start off by creating the project template just blank and just basically adding the folders yourself, or if you have a project that already contains the folders that you want, you can create the project template from an existing project. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to select the project that I want to use this from. So it's going to take me a second to get to it. Here we go. Okay. That template name already exists, so let's try webinar 2. Okay. All right, so I just created a project template based off of another folder structure that I had before. Okay, now I can also add members to this template. I don't necessarily need to do that right now. It's basically just whoever I want to be able to use this project template. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the projects, and I'm going to create a project. I have my account selected that I want to create my project in. So I'm going to create a new project from here. So I'll call everything webinar 2 here. I can enter a project number if I want to. I can also switch the account here if I want to. I need to select a project type. So basically anything that has a red star next to it, I have to put in an option for. So let's just say this is going to be a infrastructure project. I then have the option to select a project template. So I'm going to scroll to the webinar 2 one that I created. I can add addresses, time zones, start dates, end dates, things like that. I'll just leave those blank for now and create the project. Okay, so it just takes a second to create it. And for the sake of time, I actually already have created a project, but from here, you would go in and the first member, which is the person who creates the project, you need to set that member up for what they are. So you can select a role. Let's say that I am the civil engineer. And I also can set the access level. If I created the project, I probably want to be a project administrator, so I'm going to leave it as that. But then I can also turn on the services that I want to use for this project. So I'm going to turn on docs for sure. Let's say I'll turn on build and design collaboration and model collaboration. Okay, so those are the services that I have available for this project, and I just turned them on. And then, of course, I can come in and add more members. I can modify their access levels, things like that. I am going to jump over to a project that I have already started here. So you can see this is the name of my project here. And this is the pull down where I can switch between the different modules, or basically the different services that I have turned on for this project. So when I created this project, I turned on design collaboration, model collaboration, and takeoff. Insight is always there, and docs is always there. So docs is basically where I can see my folder structure here. So I created these folders from a template, and then I went ahead and added some drawings into the folders. Okay, so I can add those drawings through Civil 3D. I can add them through the desktop connector, which when you're working with Civil 3D, you need to also have the most updated version of the desktop connector, which basically connects you through Windows Explorer to your projects in Autodesk Docs. So whenever you have the desktop connector installed, you will see I'm just in regular Windows Explorer here. I can see a folder here for Autodesk Docs, which leads me to where I can see the different accounts that I have available to me. And I can just dial in to my project. And I can see the exact same folders in my desktop connector that I can in my web viewer here. Okay, now jumping over into Civil 3D, I can also see the same information. So I'm in Civil 3D here, and I am just on my Start tab of Civil 3D. And in here, I can see my most recent drawings that I have open on this recent button. But if I switch it to Autodesk Docs, I get kind of the same type of pull down for where I can change the account, I can change the project, things like that. So this is the project that I want to be in, and I can see my project files, and basically everything is syncing up with Autodesk Docs. So if I come into my Civil folder, I have already saved some drawings inside of the Civil folder. I can see, I also have a couple of other folders here. I can also see the status, whether or not the drawing is locked. So it will not allow you to open, more than one person can have a drawing open at the same time, just like Civil 3D works locally as well. So you cannot open a drawing at the same time. If someone has a drawing open, you will see that it's locked, and I'll show you that symbol in just a second. You can see the status of it, whether or not it is synced to Autodesk Docs. You can also see the version, you can see who authored it, and a little more information about the latest modifications. So I'm going to go ahead and open a couple of these drawings. And it's checking the latest version each time. I am going to get a couple different warnings here. This is just because I actually copied this drawing from another project. So there are some references, and there are some data shortcuts that it can't find at the moment because I copied them over from another project. So it's just giving me a little warning about that. And that's okay. We'll fix that as we go. And I'm going to open another one here. If I just switch back over to my Start tab, I'm going to open this drawing as well. Okay, so both of these drawings are synced to the cloud. They're in Autodesk Docs. And just if I go back to the Start page and I hit this refresh button, you'll see that this is the symbol that it shows when a drawing is opened by somebody, whether it's yourself or somebody else. You can see that it's locked. Okay. So I'm going to come into this one here. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my aerial so that I can see things a little bit better. And I'm going to XREF a drawing in. Now, whenever you are XREFing or data referencing, you want to make sure that whatever your XREF is referencing is on the cloud as well in your project. If not, you're going to have some issues. It's going to lose the connection. So you just want to make sure that everything you're working with is synced to the cloud. Okay, so I'm just going to do the XREF panel like I normally would. I'm going to pull in a drawing, And this is basically taking me to my Autodesk Docs location where I have this drawing that I'm going to pull in. Just the same way you would with a local version of Civil 3D. Okay, so it pulled in that XREF. Now, let's say that I make a change to that XREF. So I'm going to come in. This is the drawing that I XREF'd in. I'm going to turn off the aerial again here. And let's say I make a change. So I'm going to maybe just erase some of these things that are in the parking lot over here. I want to get those out of the parking lot. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Now, normally, you'll see that, and it's kind of the same type of pop-up that comes with a local version of Civil 3D, although it looks a little bit different. You can see that an XREF was modified. Okay, so I can click that. It's gonna actually let me compare the changes. I don't need to do that, but you can see that in red, I can see what has changed. If I would have checked off that button, it would have just reloaded the XREF and I could just continue on. But it is a good way to kind of see what has changed. I also have other ways to see what has changed through Autodesk Docs as well. I'm just going to click that. It takes me out of the drawing compare, and I see that I have my new drawing in here. Okay, so that's how you want to do XREFs. You just want to make sure that that everything is in the cloud so that you don't run into any issues. And then just talking a little bit about data shortcuts. They work very similar to the way that you normally use data shortcuts. You're going to set your working folder. It's going to be the same situation where you're going to kind of go through the desktop connector to find your project. And I believe that's the one I want for my working folder. And then I'm going to set my data shortcuts project folder. I happen to already have one created in here. You can also create one just like you normally would. You can create a new data shortcuts folder. Okay, so I can now see, I can see the path to this, and I can see that it says Autodesk Docs here. I'm just making sure that what I'm connecting to and what I'm data referencing into my drawing that's on the cloud is also coming from a data shortcuts folder that is on the cloud. The last thing I need to do before I create a data shortcut is to just associate the project to the current drawing. That'll just allow me to not have any warnings that pop up. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to take one of the alignments that are in here, maybe just for this walking path that's around the site, and I'm going to create a data shortcut for that. Actually, I'll just click on it here. And create a data shortcut. So then I should see it populate down here in my alignments, and there it is. Okay. All right, so now I can bring that alignment into any other drawing as a data reference. Okay. And just to show you also in Autodesk Docs that you can do a version compare. So let's say, let me see, I did save this one. I'm going to compare just this drawing where I removed those objects. So I'm going to, I can click on the V4, which is basically there's 4 versions of this drawing. The one that's current will be at the top. I can go to different versions if there's something that got lost or something happened. I can switch to a different version and make that one current just by clicking this button, or I can compare versions. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to compare the V3 with the V4. I just have a 2D view, but you can also do this in a 3D view if you would like. When I say compare, it's going to show me the changes. So basically the blue is what was in the version 3, and the red is what was in the version 4. I can do a I'm sorry, I just can't find it at the moment. You can also use a bar to scroll between the two to see. You can change the colors here, things like that. So you can basically just see what is in color is basically what is different between the two. Okay. Okay, so jumping into some different things that we can do inside of Autodesk docs, such as markups and reviews and transmittals and things like that. If I click on a drawing, I'll do this one here. And I can tell that I didn't save it because I can see the parking lot's not in there. So let me go back and save this. It's going to create a new version. And I'll go back in. And that's not the one I wanted, I'm sorry. It's the other one. And it might have just taken a second to sync here. Let's give it a second. Go back out of the folder and come back in. Yep, it's syncing. You can see now I have a version 5. So sometimes it just takes a few seconds to get it back to the most up-to-date version. But if I just click on the drawing there, it's still processing, but I'll be able to see it in a viewer and I'll be able to make markups and things like that. Not sure what's taking it so long. Here we go. Okay, so I have my markup tools over here on the side. You can use, a pen, you can use text, you can use clouds, you can use leader arrows, you can do a free form polyline, you can measure things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some text, and I can zoom in and say, let's say that we need to have another entrance maybe that comes from the road that's over here. I'm just going to, wow, that's really big, but I'm going to, let's see, add entrance. You can change the coloring. You can change the opaqueness of the border. You can change the border thickness. I'll make it a little bit smaller. You can change the font size. And I'm going to just definitely make this a little bit smaller here. So you can also change the transparency, things like that. Now, this can just be a markup for me, or if I choose to publish it, anyone else that is a part of the project can see it as well. Okay, so that's how the markups work. Now, if I close out of this and go to issues, I'm going to, well, there's no issues in my project right now. Let me go back to my files. So I can place an issue at a specific point in the drawing. So if I click on here, I can go to issues and I can create a new one. So I'm just not seeing my button to create the issue. Because this is, okay. But it, you can select a spot and you can assign an issue to a person. That person can come in and, resolve the issue, you know, place the whatever needs to be done, it can do that. Maybe it's because I have. Sorry, I wasn't seeing the button that I was supposed to see here. Now, whenever you do markups, you can also see inside of the drawing here that there is a published markup there. So you can go in and view that. Okay, and then we also have reviews. So we can choose to create a new review. Now, reviews are basically, I can add which files I want somebody to review. Let's say it's this one. Or you can do multiple at a time. Now, reviews need to have a workflow associated with them. So it does come with some templates for workflows, or you can also create your own workflow. So let's say I'm going to create a new workflow, create an approval workflow, and this is just going to be a one-step approval, but you can see you can have multiple steps. It can go through different people. You can make the approval pretty complex, but let's just do for simplicity a one-step approval. Okay, so I'm going to give this workflow a name. We'll call it one step. Okay, I can choose who the initiator is going to be. That'll be me. I can select who the approver is going to be, me, and I don't have anyone else in this project, and that might be why I wasn't able to create an issue. So you can choose whether it's approved or rejected. That's basically the one step. It's approved or rejected, and then you can customize a lot of other different things for the approvals. So I'm going to save that, and that's my approval process. So I'm going to come back to reviews. I'm going to create a review for this drawing here. I'm going to use my one-step approval process that I just created. My reviewer name, I'll just say it's me. You can assign it to other people. You can add more files and you can submit. So this person is going to get a notification that they have a review open. I had 3 days on the review, but you can change that if you want to. You can notify other project members, which I don't have any members in here right now, but you can notify them of the reviews and you can leave messages and things like that. Okay, so if I hit send, it's going to send an email. And then I have some options here for showing me what my different review status is. I'm going to go back to my members. Let me just add another member in here. And yep, we'll have her be a project member. And you can also specify which products you want them to be able to use with the project as well. They're automatically using Docs and Insight, which is included, but if I wanted to, I could add build and cost management and also design collaboration and model coordination. I will add those as well. Okay, so now that I added a member, I might be able to do a few more things. So that is a little bit about reviews. We can also create transmittals. So if you want to package together some drawings and send them off to somebody, it's pretty intuitive to create a transmittal. For the sake of time, I will skip that one. So jumping over to, I also just want to show you that the same things that, well, not all the same things, but the same things that I've been doing with the files for Civil 3D files, I can also do with InfraWorks files. So I can see my InfraWorks model that I have here as well. Let's see if I can add an issue here. No. But you can view it, you can rotate around, you can measure things off of this. So you don't have the same review tools that you have with drawings, but you can view, and anyone who even if they don't have InfraWorks, they can view the model here in Autodesk Docs. And jumping over into InfoWorks as well, it's kind of the same type of menu where you have your most recent models, and then you have your Autodesk Docs models where you can go to your account, go to your project, and then you can open a model from here. You can see the version, you can see the status, you can see where it's saved, and more information about it as well. Okay, so some of the same features in Civil 3D, you have those capabilities in InfraWorks as well. I know I'm focusing mostly on Civil 3D, but you do have those in InfraWorks too. Okay. All right, so jumping into a couple of the other modules. So we talked about Autodesk Docs, but we also have Design Collaboration. Now, when I went in and created this project, I created some project teams along with it. So you will see when you create a project, you have the option to do a team setup. So I created a civil team and a survey team. And I also have those two separate folders inside of my project setup where I have a civil folder and a survey folder, and I have drawings located within those. I can also choose to create a coordination space for those so that we can share our drawings between teams, and it will basically create copies of drawings for us whenever we're sharing and consuming drawings between the two teams. Okay, so I can choose the members of these teams, and I'm actually going to change her to the surveyor, okay? Or add her to the surveyor, okay? All right, so on my home tab here, I can see right now I'm in the survey team, but if I do this pull down, and you can add multiple teams, you can add architecture, you can, whatever disciplines are in this project, you can switch between the two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a package of the survey data to be shared to the civil team. Okay, so right now I can tell that I'm in the survey, in the survey one, if I can switch between the two, civil or survey. But right now I want to be in the survey, and I can see this little plus sign here. I'm going to create a new package. So I can see I really only have one drawing in the survey team, associated with the survey team. So I'm going to check that drawing. I'm going to save that package, and then I'm going to share it. Okay, so you can give it a name, whether this be a design 30%, 60%, 90%, whatever it might be. You could call it that. If it's just a review package, things like that, you can give it a name and you can give it a description. It's probably good to be a little bit detailed with that so that you know what it's for. I'm sharing the package. So then I should be able to jump back to my home screen and see that I have a couple of things here. And this is a timeline, by the way. This is basically what has happened for my project, and it has the timeline of it. So if you've been working on a project for a long time, sharing, consuming different things, you can see that the timeline gets much longer. Mine is only a day long because I've only worked on this today. So the more that you collaborate, the more items you'll see that there's different packages that have been shared, and you can see the history of that as well. So now I'm going to switch to the civil team. And this actually is the newer one. The yellow dot turns to a white dot, which if I click on that, I can see what that package is. And since I'm in the civil team, I can choose to consume that. So when I consume this, it will give me a little pop-up here that says it'll bring it into my team space, update any Revit links. We don't have any Revit links, but if you do have any XREFs or data references, it will include those as well. Okay, so now I have consumed the survey package into my civil project, and I can do the same thing with civil. So let's say I want to create a new package of civil for anyone else to use, not necessarily survey, but anyone else who might want to use it. I can create for the 3 different drawings, save that package. And share it. I'll do this one drawing first and share that. So, you know, you can give it a name and a description and share it. I think we have to do one at a time here. Oh, it did grab all of my 3. It calls them models. They're basically drawings. Okay, so if I switch back to home, I'll be able to see if I'm in survey that I have the white dot there. I can click on it and it is just the one drawing there. Oh, and I have my, the sets and the models are 2 different things. If I choose sets, I can choose to consume all 3, or sorry, models, all 3 of those drawings. Hit consume, and then I'm going to show you in a second that it basically pulls those into, it creates a consume folder inside of your team folder. So you can see that I have in the civil folder, I now have the survey package that was consumed into my civil folder. It's basically a copy of the survey drawing at that moment in time. And the same thing with the survey drawing. I now have a consumed folder with a civil package inside of it. Okay, so it's basically a way to share drawings between teams at milestones or you know, along the project completion, to just, you know, make sure that everyone's using the most up-to-date drawings for their teams. And you don't need to constantly be sending, you know, another team an updated drawing. If you have a schedule worked out between the teams, you can say, you know, I'm going to share my package at a certain day, maybe weekly, maybe monthly, whatever it might be. And then the other team can use that drawing however they would like. Okay, so just one more thing before we move on to questions. I'm going to switch over to the model coordination tab. So the models that I have shared, I'm going to be able to see in the model coordination tab. And what this does is it basically allows me to do a variety of things to collaborate with other teams. So I can create saved views. If there's a certain area I want to focus on for someone to look at a certain thing, I can create a saved view of that and have other people be able to see that view. I can also do clash detection. So I am going to, and you can actually you can do clash detection between, it doesn't have to be drawings. It can also be if there are Revit models, you can do clash detection between the Revit model and the drawing. You can, you know, whatever is shared, you can do clash detection for. So if I had a saved view, maybe let me just go to my models, and I'm going to do this one. a little bit difficult to navigate here, but you know, let's just say I'm going to save that view. Give it a title, curb line. You can make it private or you can publish it. So anyone who is a project member will be able to, in the coordination space, be able to see that view. Okay. So if I go back over to views, I should now be able to see that curb line view, and you can create multiple ones, whatever it might be. So jumping back over to clashes, if I do have a saved view of something zoomed into somewhere where there's a clash or I want someone to look at, I could choose that view. I can choose which models I want to show the clashes for, things like that. Maybe I'll take the survey off of there, apply. So there's 25 clash groups. And you can see that, you know, there are some pipes in here that are clashing with other things. If you click on it, it's maybe just like my pipes are clashing with my surface or something like that. So some of these might not be a great example, but you can see that there are 25 clashes that occurred, and you can, you know, locate where those clashes are. Okay. So, and like I said, you can do that between it doesn't have to be between two drawings. It doesn't have to be, it can be Navisworks, Revit, or Civil 3D. And I think there's a couple other things as well, but those are the main ones. Okay, so that is mostly what I wanted to cover today. Let me jump back over to my slides. So just a little bit overview of the benefits of BIM Collaborate Pro. You can have anytime access to your Civil 3D models or your InfraWorks models from anywhere in the world. Your design team won't waste time. You can do virtual collaboration, which means that you can distribute things between design teams, or remote staff can model from wherever they happen to be. You have your physical address doesn't really matter anymore. You can extend your reach and participate in projects or joint venture partnerships wherever you're located. It's better allocation of team talents and resources, so you can assign the best team members with the strongest skill sets and talents that you need. Designers can work on multiple projects based in different locations at the same time. And everyone can be included, so you can give access to project team members, partners, or consultants who don't have Civil 3D or InfraWorks, and they can have a real-time view of the models and communicate faster to project team members. Okay, so if you do have any questions, you can either type them into the questions panel. Okay, I see I do have one here. Which elements, if any of the various collaboration tools, are free or within the AEC collection? So Autodesk Docs comes with the AEC collection. None of them are really free. The AEC collection comes with Autodesk Docs, but that does not include the collaboration tools. Really, you would have to get BIM Collaborate Pro for those. And if you're using Civil 3D, you need to have BIM Collaborate Pro, because the tools with data referencing, X referencing, using the desktop connector, those are all a part of BIM Collaborate Pro. So hopefully that answers your question. Are there any other questions? You can just type them into the questions panel. This, by the way, is our contact information up on the screen. If you ever want to email us or call us or go to our website, We also have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. YouTube channel has a lot of webinars and things that we do all the time. So visit our YouTube channel. It's a good resource. And I don't see any other questions popping up. So, oops. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you guys for joining and have a really good rest of your day. And we hope to see you again soon.